Hello and welcome to a Legacy stream. Today we're going to be trying out Legacy Amulet. This is a deck that I have been tinkering with in the last couple of weeks, and I've been having a ton of fun with it. So we're going to be trying something new today. In the list that I played in my previous Legacy video, I was playing list a little bit closer to what you would expect out of Amulet Titan in Modern. So I was playing some Dryads and stuff like that. Here I wanted to try out a version that does completely ignore the Dryad aspect of things, but by doing that we can also have access to a couple of new different cards that we wouldn't otherwise have access to. So for example, we can play one copy of Azusa in the main deck. This means that our Exploration and Amulet draws are going to be much more explosive, and obviously we can see net for Azusa, which can potentially net us a significant amount of mana. We also have a couple of slots for Crop Rotation. This is a card that multiple people asked me about, and the truth of the matter is that I think the card is fine. I think the card is solid, but number one, the cost of sacrificing land is pretty huge in a deck like this, and number two, there's nothing that you really want to go get, right? Like, so you're not particularly excited about, sucking your Boseiju to go get something else, like a Hanwar Battlements or like a Caracas, unless you're in desperation mode. Like, that's not really a play that you're actively excited about. On the other hand, once we cut Dryad, now we have room for Dark Depths combo. So now I cut the Vesuva and I played Thespian Stage instead, and now all of a sudden we get access to the Dark Depths combo, and Crop Rotation becomes a lot more exciting. Also, Crop Rot allows us to instant speed get a Bojuki to exile an opponent's graveyard, or as I was saying, like a Caracas to bounce in Merit Lage, or as Thalia or whatever. We are also playing Urza Saga in 4 copies, and I made room for a couple of Wastelands in the main deck. That means that I cut the Maze of Ith that I was playing in my previous list, which I moved over to the sideboard. You will also notice that I have access to, I'm playing one copy of Yavimaya, and that is obviously because I have access to Dark Depths in this deck list, so it's pretty important to make sure that we can tap our depths for mana. But besides that, the deck list should be fairly similar to what we already saw in the previous video. If you didn't check it out, I strongly recommend you do so. It was a lot of fun, some very, very cool plays, and it was very interesting to just kind of be discovering all that stuff on the fly. We also have access to, in the sideboard, one copy of Tabernacle of Pendrell Vale. This is mostly against decks like Elves, but it doubles against, like random token decks like the mono blue, what's the name of the ward guy? Anyway, but they make a bunch of tokens with size, so we can use Tabernacle to keep those in check. Maze of Ith is mostly against Delver and Murktide decks. Field of the Dead against the control decks, so we have access to a second copy. We have one in the main deck that we can copy with our Thespian Stage if we want to, but we also have a second copy in the sideboard. 2 Copper Flowers against the blue decks. Pitting Needle against Wasteland decks that really rely on that axis or something like that. Collector Oof is a card that I saw a bunch of people suggest as a green cell Zenith target, and I agree with them. I think this card is very, very good, so we made room for it. We still have access to the Forces of Vigor and Seeds of Innocence, because I do think that the artifact decks are quite explosive and powerful, but I made room for one more Collector Oof. 2 copies of Endurance, because this card is insanely good against the Dever matchup and the DRC matchup. I kind of want to make room for the 4th copy. Like, we have 1 in the main deck, 2 in the sideboard, and I want to make room for... I kind of wanted to make room for 1 more in the main deck, to be honest. And finally, 3 copies of Mindbreak Trap, which is basically our hate against combo. We're just gonna cross our fingers and hope that Mindbreak Trap is enough. Doesn't look great, but it is what it is. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and if you're interested in coaching or different ways to support the stream like Patreon, or if you would like for me to play any deck list of your choosing live on stream or in a YouTube video, don't forget to check out the description of the video below, where you can find all of that information, and I'll see you for round number 1. All right, I'm gonna keep this hand, right? Like, if we find a bounce land or any green source, we can go turn 1 Exploration to turn 2 Saga Amulet into Saga Amulet in the same turn, I mean. Yeah, we're keeping this. We can also Crop Rot into a bounce land if we really need to. Let's see what my opponent is up to. Misty Rainforest, Crack, Basic Forest, Exploration. Oh, hello there. So that's a Wasteland. So let's start with Once Upon a Time. No green sources, huh? No green sources. That's kind of a beating. Mulch. Okay, so we're playing against the 8 Mulch deck or whatever. Dark Depths, Field, Blast Zone, and Stomping Ground. Wow. Okay. So we can crop rot for bog, or we can just like endurance their stuff away. My opponent fixes my mana for me? Hell yeah! Thank you so much, opponent. Thank you so much, opponent. Fuck yeah. Man, really appreciate it, opponent. You really outdid yourself there. Did you shuffle back in those two amulets we bottom? I mean, it's not like it matters, right? Like, this is gonna go off and we're gonna get our amulets back, but we don't need the amulets anyway. So, like, we're just kind of fine. Now, this is not the mirror. This is 8 Mulch. It's a lands deck that has access to a multitude of Mulch. So, a couple of things that we can do here. If I go for exploration, that's kind of awkward for me, because I don't have access to another green source this turn. This is not a particularly great draw. I could crop rot for Bojuka Bog. So I can go exploration, play Wasteland, play Saga, and then endurance, get their stuff, and make a construct. Yeah, I think that's fine. So Wasteland, and I think I'm gonna go for Cavern here. Cavern of Giant. And let's endurance between once upon a time. And I want to do this right now so my opponent doesn't draw one of those loams. And now we're going to be able to crop rot away the Ursa Saga with the trigger on the stack, which is going to mean that we're going to have access to more mana. More mana is good. Crop rot for Yavimaya was an interesting play. I don't think that's where I want to go, though. Because that completely wastes my crop rot, and I may need to crop rot for a bounce land. Zenith is probably my best draw, or Primetime. That's a Depths, and a Knuckle that doesn't do tap. I'm gonna pay 1 for my little guy. Just make a token here. Put an amulet in play a land, play a Saga. 3. If they try to combo, we crop rot for Caracas. Dead. I mean, we're gonna have bigger tokens than they do, so I'm not super worried about the Field of the Dead tokens. That's also gonna use up all of their mana. Crack Blast. Sure. Okay, so I could waste the Knuckle, but I think this is fine. Yes. Zenith. Oh, baby. So now we're gonna be able to go get Raminap Excavator. Opponent pays for their tokens, which is fine. They get Yavimaya. So we're gonna have to crack this with the trigger on the stack. The question is, for how many of these tokens can we pay and should we pay? Because I definitely want to go get Raminap. Maybe I should have Wastelanded on end step as opposed to doing this. I'm probably gonna Wasteland on their next turn. Let's see what we draw. Asusa. Yep. We're gonna crop rot for a bounce land. Let me little figure. And now we can play Asusa. We can play Asusa, or if I do play Asusa, yeah, I really want to play Asusa here. And then Zenith for Raminap. Ooh, scary. What set are the opponents? I don't know. Maybe Portal or one of those weird sets. So we're gonna get Raminap Excavator. Then we're gonna pass the turn. So now if they want to keep the tokens, they're gonna have to pay all their mana. And then I guess I'm just gonna pay for everything. Winding Way. Oh shit. Okay, so they're gonna get a 2020 here. We can beat it if we get a little bit lucky. So if they're gonna go for the 2020, they have to go for it right now. And then I can draw. Yeah, they do go. So I can draw Caracas now or Primetime. So I'm not gonna pay for any of the constructs, but I'm gonna pay for the other two. Yes, yes, and we're gonna say no, no, and Primetime. Hey, look who's home. Look who is home. Oh, you love to see it. Don't you love to see it, chat? Don't you love to see it? Daddy's home, baby. Sup? Oh, I love this deck so much. I love this deck so much. So we're getting Caracas for sure. And I think that the other card's gonna be another Wasteland. Yeah. And then we're gonna Wasteland the Yavimaya. And I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think I need to kill anything. I think we're chilling. Amulet. 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 Damn, opponent's paying for all of them? I don't want to use the Wasteland yet because my opponent can get Bojuka Bog, right? So because of Bog, I want to hold on to this Wasteland. They could crop rot for Bog too. Sure, they can get like a couple of zombie tokens, but like I don't care. And they can get a couple more zombies here if they want to. I'm not too worried about it. That's kind of annoying. So they're getting Stage, Depth, and Blast. I think that's fine. Because I have Asusa plus Raminap. Like, Asusa is more than Exploration. Believe it or not. Yes, everything's working exactly as planned. So Forces look great. I like Forces. And I think Endurances. Those are the only cards I'm interested in. That doesn't mean that I want all of them. Like, Endurance is a little bit weird. I don't think I care for Peating Needle. I guess it could name Wasteland, I guess. But then they have Blast Zone to get rid of it. Yeah, I don't think I care about Peating Needle. There's no any sauces that don't contain vinegar. Yes. How saucy is this deck? Just love this deck. I think I'm going to build it when you're in between games. I strongly recommend it. Strongly recommend it. Yeah, and I will update the Stream Decker when I get a chance. Guess we can cut a cavern, maybe 2 caverns. And... one Udo. Submit. Okay. Zenith, Saga, Turf. I can't keep this hand, right? This is better. Not by a lot, but it's better. And I'm gonna ship the Primetime, I think. Opponent did keep 7. Grove into Mana Bond. Not activate Mana Bond. Okay. So I think I'm just gonna Zenith for Dryad. Pass the turn. You really enjoy Stab's comments? Wow. I don't think I've ever heard that phrase said before. Opponent be mulching over there. So they draw Maze of Ith and Stomping Ground. I mean, if they have field here, this Mana Bonds, it's gonna be a little bit problematic. They don't do anything though. Interesting. So now we can go play Exploration and bog you. F6. So now we can Crop Rot. If my opponent attempts to kill Dryad Arbor or any of my lands for that matter, we can Crop Rot it away and find something else. Winding Way for lands. I get a bunch of stuff. Now imagine they're gonna use Mana Bond this time around. Put all the lands in play. That's a lot of lands. That's a lot of land. Should we Knuckle in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Unfortunately, I could have Crop Rotted for Wasteland, but they have way too many types of lands. So I can Crop Rot for... I have to Crop Rot for something here. If I Crop Rot for a bounce land, does that do anything? I can't get depths because otherwise my opponent copies my depths and we're fucked. If I Crop Rot for a bounce land, I get to Raminat plus Bog them. I think that's the play. My opponent should probably Blast Zone. We have to Bog them, I think, because otherwise they're going to get Loam going. So now Stage is going to copy Field of the Dead. Oh, they're upticking Blast Zone? Okay, makes sense. So now they can crack, get rid of Raminap, but they also don't have to. Interesting that they wouldn't Thespian Stage copy the field. This brings me up to 10, but I don't think I can stabilize here. We can Crop Rot for Wasteland. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 2 land drops. They have 8 zombies. Not good enough. Alright, game 3. Am I supposed to do this? No, right? There's no way I'm supposed to be Knuckle. Maybe I'm supposed to bring in the second field so I can outfield them, though. Ugh. I'm keeping this hand on the strength of Force of Vigor, honestly. Because it's not a very good hand. It's not a very good hand. If you have a Knuckle, can you afford not to play with Loser Rank card in the sideboard? That's a good point, Stabs. That's a good point. Uh-oh. Hey, Amulet's a good draw there. Caracas doesn't do anything. Loam is fucked up. Bog is not terrible. The Natty Bog, thank you, Titan Gods, yeah. What is this? 2 mana. I'm scared. Oh, Boseiju. They have another Boseiju here. Mulch. Don't have another Exploration. Come on. Don't have another Exploration. Come on. No. No. God damn it. No. No. Don't activate it. Yes. Yes. Woo. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I don't know how I feel about not activating Mana Bond there. Let me tell you. So we can go get Taiga here to haste. Wait, they have Force? There's no way they have Force. 6, yeah. What are we doing here? We can go double Wasteland. I kind of want to double Wasteland because we have Primetime in play already, and my opponent probably does not have the answer to the Primetime. If I had 1 extra land drop, we could have gone for Bounce Land to bounce Boseiju, but opponent gets back Loam, which is fine, I guess. So you get back Verdant Catacombs and Boseiju. It's not bad. I mean, Boseiju gets rid of either my Amulet or Exploration. How did I get into playing Magic? That's an interesting question. I think it's been a long time ago, but I think I used the story. I remember now. So the story was I used to play Pokemon with a friend of mine, and he got into Magic, and he taught me how to play afterwards. Waffles has subscribed with Prime. Thank you so much, Waffles. Really appreciate it. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold. Green. Is my opponent going to do Maze of Ith? I mean, how do they answer this when I have 2 Wastelands in play? Like, Maze of Ith doesn't do it. That's a Wasteland. We knew about that. And I guess they have another Wasteland too. So I'm going to Wasteland your Green Source, I guess. Sure, they can Crop Rot now. For what, another Wasteland? If they don't have Field of the Dead exactly in hand, I guess maybe that's what they're going to get for another Wasteland. Okay. And now I'm going to get your Boseiju, I guess. Maybe I should have gotten the Caracas instead. So is their hand 6 lands including a field? It is not. All right. Okay, so now they can use Maze to stop me from doing the thing, but I'm still getting 2 Titans every single turn, right? So that's good for me. Sure. Still getting my lands, baby. And I think we're gonna get Field of the Dead, and let's get Boseiju plus Bounce. And here I'm gonna be tricky. I'm gonna just not do anything, not gonna tap mana or anything. We're gonna see if my opponent wastelands. And the price here is Bojuki Bog, right? But it also doesn't matter because I could just seen it for Raminap, and then we get back to Bog anyway. Yeah, my opponent knows what's up. That's cool. That's very, very cool. But yeah, it's not gonna matter anyway. So bounce this, and I think we're gonna Boseiju the green source or the Bog. That's actually Boseiju. They have 0 cards in hand, so we're just going to Zenith for Raminap, and that's gonna be game. Boop. And you have to make the boop sound. If you don't make the boop sound when you get the Bojuki Bog, I think it's less powerful. So I think it's important to make sure that you make the boop sound whenever you do that. Was that match incredible? Yes. Yes, it was. It was incredible. See you next round. All right, we're here for round number 2, playing against Big JC, who is playing Amulet right now. So this hand is a little bit sketchy because I don't have green mana, and this is the cost of playing Cavern of Souls, but like you just have to play Cavern of Souls in this format. Well, this hand is the nuts, so we're gonna keep this hand, aka the nuts. So when it comes to the normal matches, Delver, yeah, exactly. We're gonna keep and bottom primetime. So with any untapped land, what we get to do is we get to go turn 1 exploration into Amulet. Yep. Yep. We are indeed playing the mirror match. Oh no, she has the dream hand. She has the dream hand, god damn it. Well, let's go. I guess we don't really have an option, right? We have to go pound for pound with what she's trying to do here. So obviously, we both have insane hands, and she's on the play, so we are probably gonna lose, I imagine. Waste my Saga. Please don't Raminap me. Have mercy. Well, at least... Okay, so seeing it for Raminap is not the end of the world here because we drew the Natty Bog. Yeah. We drew the Natty Bog so we can get rid of the Wasteland. So Bog you and Cavern on Giant. Here we go. So now we know that they have Growth Chamber, and we also know that they don't have Titan mana this turn. Once upon. And we also know that they found another bounce land, because otherwise they would have held on to the bounce, right? So I have to imagine that they have another bounce land. So, well, that sucks. That's an awful draw. So now we can't haste, which is kind of brutal. We can go Wasteland plus bounce land, and that allows me to Amulet to blow up the exploration. I could also just Wasteland, just double Wasteland, just say go. Yeah, because next turn, now this means that she can't Titan at all, and then we just go. Next turn, we just go Wasteland, their bounce into Wasteland, something else, Boseiju their Amulet, Bog them, and that should be good enough. Playing the Amulet Mirror match. Of all the matchups that I expected to face today, playing the Amulet Mirror match. I wonder if this is... I have to imagine that that's the case, right? Like, where this is like the old school Amulet Mirrors, where everything was just like... Everything slows down significantly, and then all of a sudden you are in a Raminap exploration, in a Raminap plus Asusa grind fest, where your goal is to go squatter your opponent out of the game, and you actually are supposed to keep Bojuki Bog just so you can stop your opponent's Raminap GQ recursion. Oh man, this is awesome. So I'm probably gonna cut the Udo. Was gonna ask why no haste, then I thought take a look at the board first. Nice, Freddy. Good job. So we probably have the upper hand because we have access to the Depths combo. But on the other hand, it's possible JC has access to Valakut plus Triad. So I honestly don't know who's favored in that situation. Feels like a little bit of a stalemate, okay? I'm not about to ship a triple Amulet hand with a bounce land, right? With Crop Rot. And this means no exploration on one, so that's good for me. Alright, here's my Amulet, JC. What do you got for it? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Are we about to get owned? So I think next turn I'm gonna play Cavern, play second Amulet, and then I'm gonna pass. Because it's very likely we're gonna need to hold up crop rotation for Wasteland. Don't have exploration. Don't do it. Don't have exploration, please. Oh, Zenith. Okay, Zenith for 3. We still have to find a Primeval Titan for what's worth. Like, this is not locked up just yet. So that's gonna get wastelanded next turn. So next turn they're gonna be a lot shorter on mana. Once upon 4, and we know that my opponent's got Simic. Oh, 4 Ramina. That's so brutal. Ugh, that's devastating. So I probably have to make that play though. When am I gonna make an episode version of the Call Conference deck with so I think I'm going to do it anyway here. I'm gonna crop rot for Wasteland, just so basically just as a tempo play. Because this puts JC in a situation where she actually cannot cast Raminap, and we need to find Primeval Titan off the top. Should be easy enough, right? So now there's actually the possibility that she doesn't have mana to anything. That's a bad draw. Alright, your go, JC! It's your turn now. Please don't have a Wasteland, please don't have a Wasteland. The mirror match in Legacy seems less like a race and more like a chess match. That's a cute little thought. Okay, that casts the Raminap. So now she has the Raminap and can play the Growth Chamber. If we do get Titan though, like she just has to play the Growth Chamber here, right? Just has to get value. Can we find another Primetime off the top? Primetime or Zenith? Those are the cards that I'm looking for right now. And that's Vesuva in hand. Udo is interesting. Huh. So I guess I can cantrip with the Udo. Definitely very interested in killing the Dryad. I'm also assuming that she has a bounce land in hand, because she played out the first one. So I'm assuming that there's a bounce land in hand. I kind of don't want to leave my bounce land in play though. We're definitely going to go Battlements, and I think that I get a drop. So Battlements, so green, blue, and tap. Colorless, haste, and tap. Udo. Let's see what we find. Depth. We're one short of escaping Udo, but we can swing with Primetime. I really don't want to put a bounce land in play. So I think I'm just going to go for... I think we go Wasteland. Oh, we can go Wasteland Stage. And because of the Amulet triggers, I can copy my own Wasteland. So Stage untaps the last. And this means I have double Wasteland available. So float mana, untap, Wasteland. Wasteland is right now. Now she doesn't have any bounce lands to copy and her amulets don't do anything. Oh, this deck is sick! This deck is so sick! I don't have enough blue mana to escape Udo. I need blue, green, green. Yep. Vesuva's got no bounce lands to copy. So with this being the play, I think I just wanna... Because destroying the land doesn't do anything. Wait, actually... Does it do anything? So let's assume my opponent has Primetime in hand, right? Because that's the only thing that would make sense. If they have Primetime in hand, they're gonna play Bounce Land here and then Haste Titan, and they still cannot do this. So I'm just going to copy the basic to make the Wasteland fizzle, and next turn we can swing with a Hasty 2020 because I can just hang World Battlements the Dark Depths token. Alright, there's Primetime, but Primetime cannot trigger Valakut. Man, this match has been fantastic. I feel like we're just playing 3D chess over here. Just trying to outvalue and think the other player. I guess if she has an exploration effect, I'm kind of fucked, but this has been a fantastic match anyway. And if she doesn't get Wasteland, we're gonna be in a really good spot. One short of triggering Valakut. She has to find, right? Like, what else is she getting otherwise? Looking for a bit. As a former Modern Amulet player, watching you is great for myself. Oh, thank you, Bandit. Appreciate it. Boseiju. Okay. Huh. Boseiju kind of sucks for me, right? So she has a way of interacting with my Boseiju. I guess what I can do is now I can go the Udo route. I just play the Trop, get back Udo, swing for 12, gain 3, and on attack step. So... Also, this is terrible. This means that now Boseiju doesn't find me anything because my Taiga, my 2 Trops, and my 2 basics are in play. I think I have to go for Udo now. Pivot. I guess she can stop the Udo haste, but that's good for me because then I can just attack and get... Well, I guess Caracas bounces my Udo. We're in a bit of an awkward spot here. Yep. And this is also bad because it gives her information that I drew my fucking... Yeah. Gives information that I drew my fucking basic. We can get Dryad Arbor, sure, I'll take it. I'll take a fucking Dread Arbor. So we're not doing anything with the green mana, I don't think. Just gonna play that out. And now we serve. And I just have to get Growth Chamber Procedure, right? Otherwise I just die to the Dryad for 6. Play another Uro. Keep this one. So this forces my opponent to get Caracas here. Get a bounce, some mana. Once upon. Once upon for the whiff! Wow! This is not very likely to happen. That is certainly not very likely to happen. So I guess I'm gonna do this right now. It's a forced play anyway, so... Because otherwise I'm just dead to the Titan trigger. Pass the turn. Close. Close game. Close game. Very close game. Jesus. I'm loving this. Yeah, the baby just showed up. Man, this is an interesting matchup. A lot more interesting than the modern matchup, right? Because you don't really have a way to completely run over your opponent. So it's a lot more of figuring out how to interact with what they're doing. As opposed to, oh, here we go. You know, like, turn 2, you know. Alright, so here comes the primetime attack. And I'm assuming that my opponent's going to get Caracas plus X. Whatever X is. Tolaria West. Oh, that sucks. So that probably means that we're dead. We can still draw something good here, though. So Pact for Dryad. Dryad, make Vesuva, copy Valakut. That's 2. That's going to kill Primetime. And then they don't have a fetch land, so... Or they can just go face and kill me if they have a way to make an extra land drop. They don't. So if we find Ramadep Excavator, that's going to be the most fantastic possible win. If we find Ramadep Excavator, I'm going to be so ecstatic. If we find Asusa, what happens if we find Asusa? What happens if we find Asusa? Another Primetime, which we can't haste. But this means that we can kill another Dryad. Jesus, what a game. What a game. So we definitely have to get Boseiju and I guess Field of the Dead. So make some tokens. Float. And we play this. Float, bound. Uro. Done. We're still drawing towards Raminap or Zenith. That's not it. Gain some life, and I guess I'm gonna copy right now to play around Wasteland. Keep that one. Here we go. Cross fingers. They have to pay for pack. They have no ways to make extra land drops. And we suspect that there are no more land. Once upon a time, what do we find? Rub hands together. Rub hands together. What a match. Yes! Woo! Innovating on Amulet Legacy. Paying off. Wow, what a wild match. See you next round. Alright, match number 3. Am I keeping this? Yes, I'm keeping. We just have to find the green source and we have 6 looks at it. Basic island, weird basic island and ponder. That was fucked up. JC, what a match we just played, my friend. What an absolute banger of a match we just played. Chat was on the edge of the seat during the entire thing. Absolutely crazy. Kano hopped up, you can tell because it's not a coward keep, exactly. Prismatic came in my exploration. Oh no. Okay. I think... Are we gonna make some tokens here? I think so, right? Narset. Okay, so it's the fucking... They minus? They have Solitude? How are they answering my constructs for free? Like now I just killed the Narset. I'm gonna set up Cavern on Giant here. I'm no coward. Punted so hard in a way I killed the Dryad Arbor. If it hit you, it'd be dead of the Dryad I found of the last once upon a time. Too many things to consider. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I made a lot of changes since the last time, JC, so that probably also didn't help. Sure. So they can minus on a construct and then we kill the Tef, which is kind of nice. And Dryad Arbor sucks. Once upon a bounce land. Damn it. No bounce land. Guess I'll take another Cavern of Souls. Play Dryad Arbor, which is just embarrassing and say go. I no idea what's going on. Will you crop right into waste? Oh yeah. I got all the spice. So I was bullshitting. Obviously, Dryad Arbor is insane because I can clear this Teferia thanks to the Dryad Arbor. Oh, never mind. Sadness. Bounce land. That sucks. I can Zenith into Uro, or I can Asusa. I think I'm gonna Asusa actually, just because it puts just a random 1-power creature into play. So can name a mental here so I can make uncounterable endurances. Any land off the top, and we can cast Primetime here. I guess they can wheel. If they wheel, that's a problem. They found the wheel. Oh, they can do this on draw step? That's kind of fucked up, actually. Okay. Can I win this anymore? I don't think I can. I don't think I can win this. Carpet looks fine. Field looks fine. Don't think I care for Bog. Needle. I guess need Lancel's Planeswalkers, but it's not particular. Let's go with this. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, let's keep this. We can go turn to Udo with this hand, which is nice. So Zenith for Arbor. They force this? Okay, I'll take that. Covering on Giant. I think we're gonna Zenith for Arbor once again. Boom, pass. Could have saved the second one, but I think that trying to play the maximum amount of lands is good. We could get got by what's his name here, by Back to Basics. So maybe I should have, maybe I should have played around Back to Basics now that I think about it. We'll play that, and I think we're just gonna name Giant again. And I guess we're not playing around Back to Basics. I'm just gonna expose this expedition map. And we're YOLOing here. Opponent does not have turn 3 Back to Basics. We know it. No Back to Basics. No Back to Basics. No Back to Basics. Okay, that's fine. We can beat that one. We can certainly beat that one. Me tengo un Legacy para llevar Cloudpods, pero ya lo he probado y me gusta, pero estoy bastante tentado a llevar esto. Y como verás, es un deleite esto. Es un kilombete. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're gonna get Field, and I guess a basic. Pass the turn. Opponent can now do whatever they want. I don't think I care too much. Plow, sure. So they're gonna plow the prime time. Brainstorm. Interesting. So 1, 2, make a token. Fetch in response. Okay. Play my Amulet. We have Udo in the graveyard still. This represents two 1/1s. Pass the turn. So now at this point my opponent probably needs a sweeper. Otherwise, like even if they assemble their combo, like we don't care too much. Opponent plays crazy fast for a control player. Yeah, I mean you have to, right? If you're not playing fast, then you may get got by the clock. So we can cast Udo if we want to. And I think we can haste Udo as well. I think we can haste Udo. Oh no, we can't haste Udo. I guess we're one land drop short of hasting Udo. What is this? Dress down? Hull breach. Sure. They do get a token for what's worth. So I'm just gonna attack. Dress down. Okay. I mean that's not bad. It's not enough. It's not bad. I think we're gonna get a Saga here. I mean, Ruination is very good here, but I mean they're gonna need more. That's more. that's more. Yeah, that plays. So plow my Udo here. Have I come across a new Blastoise Commander card yet? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh yeah, the artifact thing, right? Yeah, I beat it in my the previous time that I played this deck. Don't care about these. They show me Ruination instead of Back to Basics, so I probably don't have to worry about that. Now the question is, do I want Endurance or not? I think I do want Endurance, just as a random 3/4. And maybe Carpet is not as good as I think it is. No, Carpet seems great. Probably the Crop Rods I can cut. Oh yes, the classic Dread Arbor draw. Hunter, thank you for the follow. So this hand does a couple of nice things for me, which is the fact that I have all the mana that I need to cast my Udo on cue. The problem is it doesn't really do anything else, so I'm gonna ship it. It's a lot better. Keep this. We can go... Well, that Carpet's looking bad now. Grafdigger Skate, kind of good. I'm gonna go for Bounce Land here because it's not guaranteed that we're gonna find what's his name. So it's not guaranteed that we're gonna find Amulet, and I'm gonna want to make tokens and stuff. Play that, and yes, green. It's only so if they play another island, we can Titan them next turn. I'm probably not going to because they probably have Force to Fairy, Bounce Saga probably. That's kind of a whiff, really. Maybe I should have played Saga there anyways. I'm probably not beating Ruination, so Saga at least allows me to make tokens. I love it when I make my opponent's full art basics ugly. The classic troll move, sure. I'm probably just jamming into Force. Yeah, I guess I target them. So because I'm jamming into Force next turn, I have to bounce there. We're probably dead to Ruination. But my opponent is, they can't Assault Cold Breacher, they can't cast Narset, so the Carpet that we had in play did some work. Let's first things first, Fairy, Plow. Okay, prime time. Force? No force. Okay, so Battlement, Fetch Land, the turn. They can't Ruination here, looks like they have Plow. Oh, Hold. So I guess if they have the combo, I'm in a lot of trouble here. So I'm losing my cards anyway, so I'm considering whether I want to kill this. I don't think so. Just have to hope to dodge their draw 7. And they can cast Ruination, they can plow this. Yeah, okay. Alright, we got got. This matchup seems pretty bad for us. Our hand was obviously awful, but this matchup is terrible. See you next round. This hand is gross. Really bad. Gross and not in a good way. This hand is gross in a good way. Yeah, we're keeping this one. And I think that we're going to bottom the drop. So we're going to go turn 1 exploration into Bounce Land. Is this Delverino? It is Delverino. Okay, turn 1 exploration into Saga. My bad. I meant to say turn 1 exploration into Saga, of course. Days. Yep. Best card additions for Amulet going from Modern to Legacy. Exploration. Everything else is whatever. But this card is fucked up. This card is very good. That's a good draw. Play Boseiju, say go. Thanks, Gab. Appreciate the raid. Hope you folks are enjoying the content. If you are, you can consider hitting that follow button. I don't stream that often anymore. Not these days, but whenever I do, this is the kind of stuff, the kind of random nonsense that you can expect out of this channel. Okay, I love that. I'm gonna name Giant, green, blue. Here's my Udo. Can't counter it. Waste. So my opponent played a Mystic Sanctuary yesterday. This makes me think that they are not hitting their land drops. Can I afford to wasteland them? How far away are we from a Titan? We're 2 turns away from a Titan. How much do I get from wastelanding them? They're not close to Murktide. I think I'm just gonna go for Saga instead. And then next turn we can probably go make a construct, Bolt Face. Yeah, we're probably gonna be bogging this turn. Iteration, yeah, definitely bogging this turn to prevent my opponent from setting up their guy. But obviously now that the iteration, I'm a lot less excited about not wasteland them, right? I have to bog them right now though, because next turn I will be facing a Murktide otherwise, so bog you. Can we dodge wasteland for 1 more turn? Can we dodge wasteland 1 more turn? Opponent chose to shuffle, that's good for us. Brainstorm. If we do get there, if they don't find Wasteland, I think that we're very likely to win this. DRC, that's not a Wasteland. Okay, this is a dude. Staff, gifting the tier 1 sub to Beats. Appreciate it. Thank you, Staffs, for the support. Float the mana. And this is usually when people are like, wait, what? This is usually the moment. Now we drew the Field of the Dead, so I guess we have to play that. Alternatively, because I'm gonna be going down to 1, which is not the healthiest life total that I've ever seen. And I had a Maze of Ith in my deck specifically because of Delver, because being able to find a way to stabilize against an Insectal Aberration is very important, because otherwise we just get run over by stupid thingies. So I can make a bunch of tokens. Can wasteland them. If I play Bounce Land, I leave green untapped. Can I get back Udo is my question. We attack, we haste. No, I can't. I'm still missing some cards. Can I fetch for 1 card away? Because I could fetch for 1. I could fetch for one fetch land. So I'm 1 card away of Udo. So we're gonna go Wasteland, and yeah, I think that we can't make it happen. We can't fetch for a way to make an extra land drop. So yeah, we have to. It's not pretty, but it's the best we can do. Oh, we could have. So we can go fetch into Taiga, into haste. Yeah, that doesn't do it. So if my opponent can assemble, if they have a bolt and they can assemble Delirium, I'm just dead in the air. And I don't think that there's any way that I can prevent that from happening. So I'd rather just go for Taiga Battlements here. So I am forcing my opponent to have bolt and assemble Delirium. Haste that bad boy. Send. Definitely gonna wasteland here. And I think the other pickup is gonna be another cavern. We can't stage depth. Okay, just get a Saga. It's fine. But Murktide doesn't matter anymore. So I'm gonna just wasteland right now. Yeah, I don't want to go down to 6 for sure. Cross fingers. Cross fingers here. Hope that it works. We gotta dodge. Gotta dodge Delirium, and we gotta dodge Lightning Bolt. They need both things. They need Delirium and Lightning Bolt. One of them doesn't do it. They need actual both. They kept on top though, so that's probably bad news. There's no Vesuva, no. There was Vesuva in my first iteration of the deck, but the Vesuva was cut. In this version, I'm playing the Dark Depths combo, so I'm playing Thespian Stage instead of Vesuva. Obviously, it's worse in a situation like this, but you know, no. And this is another decision that I made in deck building that I was punished by. Like, I actually had Maze of Ith in the main deck, so obviously my deck building decisions ended up punishing me in that specific game. Caracas, it's a lot of lands that don't tap for mana, to be honest. We have Knuckle, Mace, and Dark Depths. Maybe I just have to cut the depth because the other ones are better. Yes, Vesuva doesn't work with depth, unfortunately. Udo seems quite good in this matchup. Maybe cut it once upon a time. And maybe cut an Exploration. Exploration is so good on the play. I think I'm going to cut an Amulet instead. Could also cut Expedition. But if they have Wasteland, we are going to be in a lot of trouble. But I wonder if we would have won or if we would have lost this game anyway if I had gone for the Wasteland on that turn where I didn't. I wonder what would have happened. Have another force? They do. All right. Opponent down to 2 cards in hand. So now we just have to hit land drops. Interesting. Okay. I mean, as long as we hit land drops, we're going to be fine. But we really need to hit those land drops, though. Oh, come on, dude. Not even cantripping, just naturally find... That's such bullshit, man. Not even a single cantrip, and they had double force, double wasteland, Delver flips immediately. I should have probably endurance in response, because like that's a very clear tell that they're about to Murktide. Sure. Sure thing, opponent, sure thing. Alright, we're gonna see in the next round. Okay, last round. Let's see if we can get that 3-2. I think this hand has potential. Let's go for it. I'm no coward. Start on Once Upon a Time, Growth Chamber, or Wasteland. Also, Udo is kind of tempting, because I have no way to ram, so I think I'm actually just going to get Udo here. Zenith for Arbor, and pass the turn. I assume maybe you want to think I wanted to get into Legacy of the game, so we want to stick to Modern. Yeah, I mean, Legacy is a wild format, and Delver is somehow still allowed to be the best deck in the format by so much. So, okay, opponent plays Misty, Fetch, Basic Forest into Pyrite Spellbomb. That's the pickup, huh? Do I want to go for Saga here? Grulter of Hints. I think I'm just going to go with Hills. Yeah. So now if they want to Spellbomb the Dryad, I can just Crop Rot it in response. And this allows me to cast Udo. Better not crush it with Delver this weekend. Yeah, it's the best deck by so much. And it's not even remotely close, right? I don't think there's any deck that it's even remotely close to how good Delver. Built alone in paper, that deck is so much fun. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm gonna crop out this thing away. Tower of the Interesting. What do we want to get here? Maybe a Saga? They already played the land for turn. Yeah, let's get a Saga. If they have Loam, I guess that's not that bad, really. So, Misty, Tower, Foothills. So, I think I want to play Ramen up here. And let's find Foothills. And I'm going to let my opponent have some fun. I want to keep the Taiga in the deck so I can find it with Brian. Here's an Amulet. Here you go. So you can dredge your Loam for 1 turn. As long as they don't have an Exploration effect, I'm not too afraid of this. And next turn we have Titan Mana. I know this isn't a political stream, but do you think the Pro Tour should be the new 4th arm of the government? I mean, that's a deep question. They're done? Okay. That happened, I guess. Yes, in short, I think so, Stabs. Alright. Opponent is off it. Cool. I guess that's the end of the league. Cool. Welcome to the wrap-up. This league was fun. We got a 3-2 in the end. Like, we got absolutely bodied by the control deck. I don't think there's too much that we can do about that matchup. They have too much good interaction, and Ruination, holy crap, is that card insane against us. Obviously there's no way for us to fix that, but geez. Sacred Ground or something. Is Sacred Ground the white card that makes all the lands indestructible? Maybe we have to start cyberling that. We don't. But the deck was fun. It was definitely a lot of fun to play the mirror match in round number 2. But this version is interesting, right? Because you're cutting on Dryads, which makes your mana base a little bit clunky, but at the same time, you kind of are happy to naturally draw your Dryads because having access to cards that give you extra land drops is cool. So maybe we could cut down on Dryads, go down to 2, and still play them. But I'm not entirely sure that this version is better than the version with Dryads. So definitely some food for thought. There's also the fact that we could add stuff like Summoner's Pact, but I was happy with Crop Rotation. Crop Rotation did some good stuff. It doesn't really ramp per se, but it allows you to do some nifty things like what we did against the Pirate Spellbomb right there and whatnot. So yeah, Crop Rot is fun. It's a cool card. I don't think it's absolutely stellar, but it felt like a fine role player. Besides that, Dex amazing. Dex is so much fun, and I probably will continue playing it because I'm having a blast every time I fire off of this pile. But hopefully you enjoyed it as well. If you did, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're interested in coaching or in a way to support the stream, you can do so and find the information in the description below. Thanks for watching. See you for the next video. Bye bye.